Hi everyone, this is Miss Taye from Math 6. Woo woo. All right, so we've been doing long division this week and it's been a great week so far, but I wanted to make sure that before we go into long division of decimals, that we had a little bit more practice. So the game that we're going to be playing as we go through this video is, what is your math DJ name? All right, so you guys know that I go by DJ Taye, woo woo, in class. So this is going to be your opportunity to see what your DJ name is. So make sure that you pay attention as we go through the video, and you can check your work against what I'm doing here. And then you can be writing down at the back as I put up the codes so that you can get what your DJ name is, and we can share those in class. And it also serves as proof that you indeed watched this video. So let's get started. Long division practice. Our first problem is 519 divided by 9. So over here, we're going to fill in our dividend of 519. And now I'm going to fill in my divisor of 9. So the 9s are pretty easy. So I'm not going to do a toolbox for this one, but if you need to, please do fill out your toolbox strategy, your multiples from 1 through 9. I'm going to get started. I have to ask myself first, can I get any groups of 9 out of this 5? No, I can't. You guys know that I like to put an X or a strike through. I'm just going to put a 0 here today. But can I get some groups of 9 out of 51? Indeed, I can. Well, how many groups of 9 can I get out of 51? I can get 5 groups. And 9 times 5 is 45. So now I'm subtracting. Remember our little funny statement that's going to help us to remember? Dangerous monkeys swipe bananas. And then repeat. So division, multiplication, subtraction, bring down, repeat. So now we're subtracting 51 minus 45. So I have 1 minus 5 here, so I'm gonna go ahead and borrow. So now I have 11 minus 5. That gives me 6, and 4 minus 4 is just 0. So I'm done subtracting. Now it's time for me to bring down. So I'm bringing down the next number of my dividend, and that's 9. All right, so how many groups of 9 can I get out of 69? I can get 7. 9 times 7 is 63. 69 minus 63 is 6. I have no other numbers in my dividend to bring down, so this 6 is my remainder. So now I can go over here and I can put that my final answer is 57 with a remainder of 6. Let's move on to the next one. 138 divided by 5. Let's fill in our dividend and our divisor. So looking here, how many groups of 5 can I get out of 1? We're not going to get any. We're just going to put it up here, 0. But I can get some groups of 5 out of 13. How many? I can get 2. And 5 times 2 is 10. Now I'm going to subtract. And 13 minus 10 is just 3. Now it's time for me to bring down my next number, which is an 8. And I have to ask myself, how many groups of 5 can I get out of 38? I can get 7. And 5 times 7 is 35. 38 minus 35 is 3. And I have no more numbers in my dividend to bring down, so I'm done. So my remainder is 3. Now I'm going to go over here and put that my answer is 27 with a remainder of 3. All right, so you've been watching patiently and carefully so far. So the first part of our code is going to be, what is the first letter of your first name? I'm only going to show part of them. So if your first name starts with one of these letters, I want you to write down the name that goes with that letter. So on the back of your paper, this is going to be the first part of your DJ name. So if you're A, you're DJ, B, liquid, C, fire, D, cosmic, E, max, F, volt, G, analog, H, spins, I, wild, J, quick, K, jumpin', L, young, M, lil. All right, that's our first set of codes, first letter of your first name. Back to the math. So our next problem is 912 divided by 27. So let's fill in our dividend and our divisor. Okay. So I tell you guys this all the time. I'm a math teacher, but guess what? When I was in school, I only learned up to my 12s in multiplication. So 27, that's pretty far off. So this means that I'm going to use the toolbox strategy. And a toolbox strategy, again, is where you would write out the first 9 multiples of the number that you have to use. So in this case, I went ahead and I did that. I made my toolbox of my 27s. And you should have your toolbox of your 27s as well. So 27 times 1 is 27, times 2, 54, times 3, 81, times 4, 108, times 5, 135, times 6, 162, times 7, 189, times 8, 216, times 9, 243. So using this toolbox, it's going to help me to solve this problem. So I have to ask myself, how many 27s can I get out of that 9? I'm not going to get any. So I'm going to just put a 0 there. But how many 27s can I get out of 91? Let's see in our toolbox. We have to get as many as possible without going over. So I see that 108 that'd be too many. But 81 would be perfect, and that's 3 groups of 27. So as we just saw, 27 times 3 is 81. And 91 minus 81 is 10. Now it's time for us to bring down the next number in our dividend, and that's a 2. So now we have to ask ourselves, how many groups of 27 can I get out of 102? Let's go back to our toolbox. All right, so we're looking for 102, so 108 will be too many. So we're back to looking at 3 groups of 27. And we know that 27 times 3 is 81. So we are going to subtract. Oops, excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so we are left with 21 when we subtract 81 from 102. So, can we get any groups of 27 out of that 21? No, we can't. So, the 21 is going to be our remainder. And remember, your remainder is always going to be less than your divisor. So, now we can come over here. And we know that our quotient was 33 and our remainder is 21. Okay, let's look at the next one. 3,265 divided by 29. Let's fill in our dividend and our divisor. Okay, so here we go again. This is a 29. Again, I don't know my 29s. So I have to use the toolbox strategy for my 29s. So that's the first 9 multiples. 29 times 1 is 29, times 2, 58, times 3, 87, times 4, 116, times 5, 145, times 6, 174, times 7, 203, times 8, 232, times 9, 261. So using this toolbox, I'm going to be able to solve my problems pretty quickly. Well, at least my math problems. Okay, so how many groups of 29 can I get out of that 3? None. But I can get some groups of 29 out of my 32. And how many groups? I can only get 1. And 29 times 1 is 29. So now I'm going to subtract. This is going to require, because I have this 2 minus 9, it's going to require that I do some regrouping. All right. So 32 minus 29 leaves us with 3. Now it's time for me to bring down. So I'm bringing down that 6. So now I have to ask, how many groups of 29 can I get out of 36? Again, I can only get 1 group of 29 out of 36 because if I do 2, it'd be too many. And 29 times 1 is 29. So remember, I'm going to do some borrowing again. So my 3 becomes a 2, my 6 becomes a 16. 16 minus 9, that's going to leave me with 7. Okay, now it's time to bring down again. My last number of my dividend is a 5. So, how many groups of 29 can I get out of 75? Let's look at our toolbox. All right, so 3 would be too many, so I can only get 2 groups out of that. And as we saw, 29 times 2 is 58. Now it's time to subtract. I'm going to be doing some borrowing. And I have no more numbers in my dividend to bring down. So that means that the 17 is my remainder. Okay, so our quotient is 112, with a remainder of 17. So I'm going to put this over here. All right, so now it's time for, we're still doing the first letters of your first name, but I'm going to show the rest. Okay, so if your first name starts with an N to Z, here's the code. So N is swaggy, O is mad, P is realist, Q is slamming, R is slim, S is funky, T is doctor, U is run, V is beat, W is master, X is cool, Y is loco, Z is bump. Make sure you write down the name. So we have 2 problems left. And these 2, we're going down to task A. These are word problems. So it says, Jessa has 23 $1 bills that she wants to divide equally between her 5 children. So we know that she has $23 and she wants to divide them equally between 5 kids. And number 1 asks us, how much money will each receive? How much money will Jessa have left over? Okay, so they told us that we want to divide 23 of those dollars by 5 kids. So let's set up our problem. We're going to fill in our dividend and our divisor. So I can't get a group of 5 out of that 2, but I can get groups of 5 out of 23. And how many can I get out of 23? I could get 4. And 5 times 4 is 20. 23 minus 20 is just 3. So 3 is going to be our remainder because I have no more numbers to bring down for my dividend. So what this means is that each of her 5 children, they will get $4 each. But the question doesn't just ask us how much money will each of the children receive. It asks us how much money will Jessa have left over. And that we're going to find in our remainder. So to answer this question, each child will receive $4. Each child will receive $4. Jessa will have $3 left over. Okay, so now that we've solved that, I'm going to go to our next code. Our next code is your birthday month. I'm only going to show half of them. Your birthday month. So if your birthday month is January, March, May, July, September, or November, here are the codes. January is decimal, March is quotient, May is expression, July is volume, September digit, November cylinder. So make sure you write this next to your the first letter of your first name code. Make sure you write this next to it so you'll have your DJ name. And then at the end, I'll share what mine is according to these codes. Okay, let's solve the last part of this, the number 2. So it says Jessa exchanged the remaining $1 bills for dimes. If she divides the money equally between her 5 children, how much money will each child get? So this is where, remember I said that sometimes we have to use some critical thinking and sometimes just our real world knowledge of things. So we have to first ask ourselves, if she's exchanging that remaining $3 for dimes, how many dimes am I getting out of each dollar? Well, a dime is 10 cents and a dollar is 100 cents. So we're going to get 10 dimes out of each dollar. So to do that beginning math, I'm just going to multiply $3 times 10, because that's for a number of dimes in each dollar. And that's going to give me a total of 30 dimes. Now that I have 30 dimes, she's going to split this equally amongst her children. And they already told us that she has 5 kids. So now that means that I'm going to divide this 30 dimes by the number of kids. So let's set up our problem. We're going to write in our dividend of 30 and our divisor of 5. How many 5s can I get out of 3? None. But I can get groups of 5 out of 30, and I could get 6 of them. And 5 times 6 is 30. So now I'm subtracting. I have none left. So that means that my quotient is 6 dimes, but I have no remainder. So 6 dimes in money is 60 cents. Okay? So each child, each will get 60 cents for a total of $4.60. Okay, so they already got $4 and she split the rest of the money. So now they're getting $4.60 each. Okay, so thank you for being so patient and watching this lesson on our long division practice worksheet. I'm going to give you the last of the codes. So if your birthday month is February, April, June, August, October, or December, here are your codes. February is algebra, April is pyramid, June, box plot, August, fraction, October, equation, December, exponent. So now I'm going to share what my DJ name is. I go by DJ Taye, but I'm going to share what mine is according to this code. So I'm going to go by 2 because my actual first name starts with a C. So that's fire. And my birthday month is February. So that's algebra. So my DJ name, if I go by my actual first name, is Fire Algebra. But I go by Taye. So that's Dr. Algebra. Boom. I love it. Dr. Algebra sounds pretty cool, guys. So make sure you find yours. My youngest daughter was really excited to find hers. Hers is a fire quotient. So she thought that was really cool. And my oldest, hers was fire exponent. All right. So thanks for watching. And I look forward to seeing what your DJ names are. And stay tuned for more videos from Miss Taye, a.k.a. DJ Taye, a.k.a. Dr. Algebra, coming at you. Bye.